Welcome to part 3. There was the New Life movement, and we're on page 275 in the text. In 1934 was aimed to transform social practices. It promoted four virtues: behavior, justice, integrity, and honor. Became more militaristic, mimicking the style of European fascist right-wing youth movements. It slowly faded after 1937 and officially ended in 1949. Mass campaigns became an important tool of the communist government. Sun Yat-sen already envisioned the establishment of a propaganda state in the 1920s. Corruption was rampant in the Kuomintang Nanjing government. The government had to struggle with insufficient revenue and inefficiency in taxation. The government got revenue by taxing the growth and consumption of opium. Despite its failings, the Nanjing government was the most effective administration China had had since the mid-19th century. A broad consensus within the Kuomintang was that economic modernity was key to national recovery. Chiang Kai-shek wanted to develop a military-oriented heavy industry. Mao's emphasis on heavy industry in the 1950s was similar to China's Industrial Party in the 1930s. The Great Depression in the West, from 1929 to 1933, international trade collapsed. The Nanjing Massive Upgrade Project, started in 1928, established a residential district with Western-style houses in Nanjing. Projects to improve infrastructure were carried out in Tianjin, Guangzhou, and Chengdu. China's major cities were connected by flights on regular schedules. New developments did little for landlocked counties in the interior. There was a 3-year plan for development in 1936, and it designated Jiangxi, Hunan, and Hubei as areas for heavy and arms industry development. It was done through state-owned enterprises. They began using the term Danwei, work unit, to identify organizations. The Danwei also provided social services and welfare. It became ubiquitous in Chinese society under Chinese communist rule. In the late 1930s, fearing Japan's advance, the Chinese government planned for more direct intervention in the economy. This was the beginning of the planned economy that would mark Mao's China. The Kuomintang Party under Chiang Kai-shek remained anti-capitalist. The power of the government, for the most part, was due to ties with wealthier elites who wanted to maintain existing economic relationships. Cosmopolitan connections, entrepreneurial ambitions shaped the new era of public culture and social activism. Global elements were closely fused with domestic, impossible to say which was foreign and which was Chinese. Considerable experimentation was facilitated on the urban scene. The, quote, cultural laboratory for invention and reinvention of Chinese culture was produced the Shanghai Modern Effect. Western movies, dancing, billiards, fashion popular among urban residents resembled Europe and the U.S. counterparts. The spread of words, ideas, and thought spread as China's intellectuals learned to maneuver the evolving public sphere. Political instability, assassinations, and autocratic political tutelage convinced some intellectuals that democracy was not going to work in China. A public intellectual field was lively and a mixture of competing thoughts. I'm going to end this here, and we'll continue in the next section.